This is Callie with PCBE News, here with Steve Arndt from the Baypoint Marina to talk about the second annual Leukemia Cup Regatta that will be on May 22nd.
Actually, May 21st and 22nd. The May 21st is the kickoff party. That's when we've got Gary Jobson himself. He's the national spokesperson for the Leukemia Cup Regatta on behalf of the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we were lucky enough to get him to come down, and he'll actually be making a presentation at the kickoff party at the St. Andrews Bay Yacht Club on Friday, May 21st. I believe that starts around 6 p.m. Well, actually, the party starts at 6, but Gary comes in a little bit later, around 7 o'clock, and it's an exciting event. He tells his story of how he got started sailing and his collegiate career, and all the way up to whenever he was sailing with Ted Turner in the America's Cup, and then his trips when he sails to the Arctic and Antarctic, around the world, across the globe. It's exciting and it's a lot of fun.
How many boats are expected to participate this year?
Well, so far we've got 16 signed up, and we're still a week away, so I anticipate pushing close to 20. I know of 2 or 3 others that have not signed up yet. Like I said, the goal is for the boats to sign up and then raise money. It's a chance for them to go out and try and raise sponsorship from the places they work or the places they do business or folks that they know, and kind of donate money on their behalf. And that's the funny thing, with most regattas, the boat that finishes first is the one that wins. With the Leukemia Cup Regatta, we don't care where you finish. The boat that raises the most money wins the cup. As a matter of fact, our winner last year, a gentleman named Larry Grill, who actually keeps his boat here at Baypoint, he won the Leukemia Cup and he didn't finish the race.
Fantastic.
The weather conditions last year were a little bit bumpy, and he got out there and he said, you know what, I'm not going to win, I'm in this for fun, let's go back to the house. So we came back in, and about an hour later we had him a big cup.
Great.
There are different divisions and there are classes, so we will have winners in each division, and first, second, third place will actually get a trophy, but the overall winner, the winner of the actual Leukemia's Cup, and there's a Leukemia's Cup, that gentleman or person, that boat will be the one that raises the most money.
And how did this get started here? How was it brought to Baypoint?
Well, it actually, we were kicking around an idea to bring a sailing regatta to Baypoint, and I must confess my Achilles heel is that I don't know anything about regattas. I don't know how to put a sailboat race on to save my life. But we ran into a gentleman named Kenny Campbell who said, man, I got this idea. Have you guys ever thought about doing a sailboat regatta? And we said, well, yeah, we were just talking about it a minute ago. And he said, man, there's this thing called Leukemia's Cup. Y'all ought to look into it. And sure enough, a couple of weeks later, Kenny and I went over to Mobile, where they have a Leukemia's Cup Regatta at Buccaneers Yacht Club over there, and we saw Gary, talked to him, talked to the folks with LLS, and realized that it was a real good event for a real good cause. It was a real good fit. So we spent a year and a half bringing that one here to Baypoint last year, and it was a tremendous success. And it's something that we're committed to long term. I can see you and I, Kelly, talking here in 20 years about the 22nd annual Leukemia's Cup Regatta. I really can.
That would be great. It would be wonderful. So for spectators, where is the best place to set up and follow the event?
Well, and that's the unique thing about the Leukemia's Cup Regatta at Baypoint. Typically, whenever folks go to a regatta, everybody comes to the marina, they wave to the boats as they leave, they wait a couple hours, the boats come back, and they go, okay, that guy won. Fortunately for us here, we've got 2 locations. If the weather is cooperating, and we believe it will, we can actually have a race in the Gulf. A lot of sailboat regattas, a lot of races tend to be held in areas where you can't see it. With us, if we have it in the Gulf, it'll actually be just offshore, over near schooners. So you should be able to go to schooners from the beach and see it. It's probably going to be about a half mile offshore, so you won't be right on top of the action, but you'll be able to see it. In case of inclement weather, and what that means is if it's really rough out in the Gulf, we can actually have it in the bay, and it'll be, I believe our alternate location is just to the east of the city marina over near the St. Andrews Bay Yacht Club, and once again you'll be able to see that from the shore as well.
And how much money do you expect to raise this year versus last year?
Somewhere up to $1 million. Actually, last year was a really good year for us. We had set a goal of $50,000 and far surpassed it and made $62,000. The economy's taken a little bit of a turn since then, and then too we've noticed with the recent events in the Gulf, it's a little bit more difficult to raise money. So we're sticking to our original goal of $50,000, and I think we can attain that. It's been a bit more challenging this year than we thought, but I'd love to knock it out of the park and beat $62,000. But our goal this year is $50,000, and I believe we'll come close to that.
Do you expect the oil spill to affect any of the turnout or coverage or anything over here this weekend?
Well, at first we, as event planners, you've always got to take that into consideration and say, there's oil out there. What are we going to do if it comes this way? And, the decision was made that if oil does come this way, we'll still have the kickoff party. We'll still have, whatever events that we can. We're not going to ask anybody to put their boats in water that it's contaminated. So we just took a wait and see attitude, and it looks like so far, knock on wood, that we're not going to have that problem. The oil seems to be staying away. It seems that we won't be impacted by that at all, and we look forward to having a good event. Only thing we have to worry about now is weather, and rain never stopped a sailor. Actually, they like wind, so even if it's windy, it'll be good. But no, high seas is really what we're worried about. If the waves start getting a little too large, because you've got to remember that these aren't truly professional racers. These guys aren't going around the world. They're not looking for 20 and 30 foot seas and come on matey, let's do it. They're more of your average weekend sailboater, and they're really just out to have fun and see if they like racing. And so we're going to keep an eye on that, and if the weather is too rough, we won't put them in harm's way.
Okay, if there's someone watching this for the first time, has never heard of it before, how would they register?
www.lcrbp.com. That's for Leukemia Cup Regatta at baypoint.com. They can also find us on the Baypoint Marina website, www.baypointmarina.net. They can also find us on the Leukemia Lymphoma site, which is www.lls.org, where they can call me, 850-628-1740. That's my cell phone. I'll get you registered.
Okay, excellent. And I was reading on your website that you're providing free docking for all participants.
Certainly, yes. Typically, dockage here is $1.50 per foot plus utilities. Anybody that's actually registered for the event will receive free dockage for that event, up to 2 weeks worth of dockage. And that's our way of saying thank you and contributing to a great cause.
All right, we're looking forward to coming out next Saturday. We'll either be outside of schooners or at the alternate location in case of inclement weather. And we're looking forward to experiencing the regatta with you this year.
It should be a lot of fun.